Greetings everyone and welcome back. We're going to be doing another playthrough video of Distant Worlds Shadows. I've been away from the computer for most of the summer, so that's why I've been kind of absent. I have been seeing comments on my other video series, so I have been reading everything. So it's not like I've been ignoring anything. I've just haven't been concentrating on computer stuff because it's been very nice this summer. So I do a lot of biking and hiking and all that kind of good stuff. So on the plus side, I got a really good tan. On the minus side, I didn't do much game playing over the summer. I actually missed the last few patches of Distant Worlds. We're actually running the .11 patch now. This is the latest one that just came out. Fairly comprehensive patch. If you haven't updated since release, you can just download the .11 patch and apply it, or go into check for updates and do it that way. I'm doing a couple things a bit different this time around. First of all, I'm going to be playing this in a window rather than full screen. So instead of 1650 by 1250, I believe, or 1680 by 1250, we're at 1440 by 900. Just makes the file sizes a bit smaller, and in comparison, when you're watching the videos, the text and everything is just a little bit bigger as well. So I did have a couple complaints that people weren't able to read the text very well. So hopefully this will help out a bit. And it might be a little less as far as the resource usage for the computer. It might be a little less, but okay. Like I said, this is a .11 patch, so grab that if you haven't done that already. It's a really good one. From a micromanagement standpoint anyways, I don't use automation, so I'm not sure how that's working out. I am using a mod. I'm using Harry78's Distant Worlds Extended mod. So that brings everything up to 38 races, makes replayability a lot more intense, stuff like that. So I'm going to be using that. I'll put a link in the show notes for you to go download that. I'm also using some elements of Martian's graphic enhancement mod. So I'm not using all of it. I don't use the ship sets from that. I just use the planets and UI interface stuff. So other than that, I think we'll just get going. And we'll start a new game. And once again, we're going to start in the Age of Shadows. I start all my games in the Age of Shadows. So, okay. Spiral, standard 700 stars, medium 8 by 8. Expansion pre-warp. Aggression, I'm going to go to Chaos. Difficulty, I'm going to leave it hard. I'm reducing the research cost this time to normal. I usually go very expensive, but for this playthrough I'm going to go normal. I've actually been playing my last few games on the normal, and it's pretty good. It still takes you a fair amount of time to go through the tech tree. Space creatures I've cranked up to many, and this is to compensate for what I'm going to do with the pirates. The pirates I'm going to actually crank right back. I like the pirates in the game, but I don't like them in my face all the time. So I crank them back to very few and very weak, and this basically brings them back to the level they were at in the Legends expansion. So the whole gameplay story isn't about fighting off pirates anymore. It'll be about actually competing against the other AIs and stuff like that. So, and I'm not going to have them respawn either. And I'm also going to put them to an average distance. So we do meet them right away, well, fairly quick anyways in the game, but they're not all over us or anything like that. So I don't, like I said, I don't mind the pirates, but I just don't want them to be the central focus of why I'm playing this game. So, and eliminating them altogether is another option, but for a gameplay video series, that turns everything into a pretty boring experience. So that's the main setups we're going to use. And we'll go back and go into here. And I generally crank these up. Why not? Independent alien life, which means we're going to have a lot of independents around. This makes things a little more interesting later on, because when the wars start and everything, a lot of these will get gobbled up by other empires. So it just puts a little extra dynamic in there. Okay, and range limit is going to be 0.5. I run just 0.5 all the time now. I don't go any further than that. And that should be 80%. Yep, so I just leave that. Again, I don't mess with that. I just leave it as is. Okay, as far as race, I know that's scrolling off the screen, but I'm just going to go with random. We'll just take who we get dealt. And I'm going to leave all this as, I think it's default. Other than outer core is where we're going to actually start up. And once again, we're the Caspilian Empire. And yeah, all this is pretty much default. So we'll go to the next screen. I'm going to start with nine other races. 2 of them being average, the rest of them being distant. Okay, everybody's going to start normally, and pre-warp for all the size and tech levels and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll just go random for who we're allowed to have in the game. And we'll let all those independents that I bumped up to become actual races. And victory conditions. Okay, this time around I am going to play with the storylines enabled. So all the storylines will be enabled. I'm just going to have this kind of victory, because if we finish the Shakturi storyline, we'll win doing that. That'll win the game for us. However, this doesn't always fire every game. There's a certain amount of things that have to be satisfied before the Shakturi will actually show up in the game. You can go complete games without even seeing them. So I'm not sure exactly what all is entailed to bring that event around. I know there's a beacon you have to find, and the overall galaxy tech rate of everybody has to be to a certain level before they'll show up. So if you crank back all your competing AIs to be very easy, then chances are these guys just simply won't show up. I think that's how it works. But there's a bunch of other conditions that have to be satisfied before they'll be in the game. So basically, this kind of victory up here, I am just going to have as a fallback, just in case the Shakturi storylines don't kick in. So, and then we can fall back to this. And if we're going to go 30 years and 85%, I wonder if I should go 90. Maybe I'll go 90. That's a tough victory. You're pretty much next to a sandbox game. So we'll do that. We're going to allow tech trading. I find with the chaos setting that most of the people don't have a whole lot of money or anything to actually trade with. So I'm going to leave that. And okay, I'm going to hit the start game. I'm going to pause this particular video. I'm just going to make this short intro because quite often I do re-roll the galaxy if I don't like what I see when I initially come in, and I just don't feel like re-recording this intro if it doesn't work out for me. So it's going to be a short episode. This will be probably just episode 0 or something. Game setup and that. And I think that's all we need to talk about. So I'm just going to hit start game, and we will end this video here, and I will see you for episode 1 once we get into the game.